Okay, my chat was stuck and not scrolling, and I can see on my phone, I'm on my Mac, but I can see on my phone that a whole bunch of you were saying hi in the chat, and I couldn't see any of it on here. Um, so come back in if you would. Let me see if I can, and we'll see if this is scrolling. I can't believe I would have a tech malfunction. That is totally annoying. So let me get to my, yeah, just a second here. Let me see if I can post in my group real quick. Had a tech issue, started the Zoom again. There we go. Okay, here we go. Yay! Hello, Anastasia and Kim. And I know there were like about half a dozen of you in the chat a moment ago, so I'm just going to give it a moment. And hello, Vicky. Good. Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know why. It just, all of a sudden I could see all of it scrolling on my phone, which I, that's not useful. I need to see it in here. Oh, technology. I was on a Zoom call a little bit ago with a friend and colleague, and we both see clients all the time. It's what we do for a living. And we could not get her sound to work on the Zoom call. Could not. We finally ended up FaceTiming each other, which is like, oh my gosh, how embarrassing is this for us? Let's show them we're professionals. Okay, so let's do a little tapping here. And Anastasia, I don't believe I have done any work with you before, and I think you're one of the newest to the group. But I don't know how many we may or may not have on the call today. So everybody who's in the live chat right now, go ahead and drop in the chat what you would like some help with. Go ahead and just all of you put it in there, because I may have time to even work with people that I worked with last time around. And I'm happy to do that. I'm just trying to give new people a preference on this. So if you are watching this live and you're not sure what to do, get in the chat if you would like some help. And someone was making comments earlier just on the Facebook page. How do I get to the live? How do I get in the chat? Well, here's the live. Just refresh your page. It's here. Get in the chat. And don't be shy about this, guys. Really, I mean, I'm here for you. And we have a lot of fun letting go of all this stuff we're holding on to. Okay, Anastasia, pain management is not something that's tappable. I need to know specifically where the pain is. So we want to get really specific with it, because just tapping, saying pain management, you're not going to feel any better. And I want people to get actual, real, measurable results in this group and on these lives. And if you've gone back and looked at any of the former lives, you will see that people are getting some really astonishing results. So please, specifically, where is the pain? And you may have it in more than one area of your body, and that's fine, but the one that is really pulling at you the most right this minute today, that's what I want, that's what we're going to want to look at and work with. And so we're waiting on Anastasia to put that in. And Kim, if we could do a little tapping for you, and also Vicky. It looks like just 3 of you in here right now. It's maybe a quiet Friday, I don't know. Having to restart the live was kind of, so who knows if I'll have more show up or not. But yeah, if I can help you, drop it in the chat. And Anastasia, we're waiting for specifics, because just tapping on pain is not, and just saying I have pain is not useful. And this is where a lot of practitioners kind of go wrong with it. They don't get the best results. I am, I think, the only practitioner of this sort in the world who advertises and specializes working with physical pain. And okay, here we go. All right, and Rajeshwari, good. Eyesight, yes. Kim Collier about increasing energy and vitality. I actually, okay, I'm just kind of reading through this chat so that you guys who are watching the live, um, we're waiting for Anastasia to put in specifically what she needs help with. And Rajeshwari says, I've been working on trying to improve my eyesight, and I did Carol Look's book on improving the eyesight, which I have. I actually have met Carol, I have her book, and also your YouTube video, but my eyesight doesn't seem to get better. Okay, we can go have a look at that. We're going to do this. Okay, Kim Collier, anything we can do about increasing energy and vitality? And yes, I have a good video for that already. Vicki says, can you do tapping for things like melanoma and osteoporosis? And the answer to that for melanoma is not just a yes or a no. It is more complicated than that. There are a lot of laws in the United States about what I can say and work with. So no, in a live public group like this, I'm not going to work with melanoma. However, osteoporosis, I have a really good video on increasing bone density, and that is a public video on YouTube, and it is excellent. I recommend it. I'll drop it in the group later. I think I can remember to do that. All right. Anastasia says pain affects the whole body. All right. Okay, Anastasia, and you may have fibro. Do you have fibromyalgia? Is that what you're saying? I mean, does every single part of you hurt? Because I like to be specific with this. So, do you have a diagnosis of fibromyalgia? Because I've actually got a video for that, but we'll work with that a little bit today. And then we're going to do a video we're going to do some work for increasing energy because everybody's feeling a little, I don't know, for some reason a lot of people are describing feeling low energy today. And I am like, I'm kind of glowing in the dark. So yeah, some energy tapping would be really good. Let's see, and let's see here. Oh, who's asking? Okay. Yeah, I'm still getting stuff in my phone that this is, okay. Okay, good. All right, Anastasia. She says, yes, it is all of her body, and she also has cerebral palsy. Okay. All right, I have not worked with cerebral palsy before, so let's go have a look at this. This is an interesting thing. I would definitely like to do some tapping for this. All right, so what I want you to do, and everybody do this together, lend your energy to this process. You will get a benefit that you may not expect from tapping on somebody else's stuff. Because we're all human, we all come equipped with the same emotions. All right, and Anastasia, if you would, please take a big breath in through your nose and hold it and blow it out. And close your eyes. And I want you to just focus where in your body, just gently use your imagination and let your vision float through your body and see where the area is that's generating the most pain or where the pain is coming from. And you may see it in your chest, you might see it in your stomach, could be in your back. And you may see more than one area, but just gently look at this without any judgment. There is no wrong answer. First thing that comes to mind, and see where that is in your body. And now gently looking at that area, that pain. I'm kind of looking up a thing here too also. I want you to ask that area where the pain is being generated from. Ask it what emotion is stuck there. And first thing that comes to mind You're the one who lives in that body. You're not going to be wrong about it. And if you aren't getting an answer, what would you imagine would be stuck there? Just gently look at that. Now ask it what it needs to feel better. And you may see a picture. It may not make a lot of sense, but whatever you're getting is going to be appropriate. Okay, good. Now I want you to tell that area of your body and your whole body that we're going to do some tapping. We're going to get it some help. And take a big breath in through your nose. Good. And blow it out. And I'm actually I want you to also give your pain level right now today, Anastasia, a number between 0 and 10, with 10 being agony and 0 being no pain. And if you would, we'll wait for you a moment here. Drop that in the chat, what your pain level is and what you saw, what's stuck there, and what does it need. And I'm going to look at a thing here because I have a question about this, because I was looking at this with you, and this looks to me like it is in your head, actually. And I see a huge, huge amount of frustration. I'm not sure about what, but a lot of frustration. I was actually going to look and see if there's anything about cerebral palsy on the list. Okay, this says feeling stagnant in life or feeling that you can't move forward, and that might be. Let me look on. I'm just looking a couple places before we tap. Okay, you're at a 10. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. All right, drop in the chat. What is stuck there? What emotion or feeling is stuck there, and what does it need to feel better? Please drop those in the chat. I want to look at this one more place because like I said, I have not worked with anyone with cerebral palsy. This looks to me head. It's interesting. Oh, now this is interesting. And this is I decided to look on the list since I haven't done. This is a Louise Hay book, and for cerebral palsy, it says a need to unite the family in an action of love. I don't know. All I'm seeing is huge frustration there. So let me know if that, okay. All right, all right, so feel stuck. Let's don't waste any more time waiting for the chat. Let's just move in and do some tapping for Anastasia with this. Got to get a drink here. All right, here we go. Everybody tap. I feel really stuck, and it's giving me all this pain. Even though I feel so stuck, and I'm so frustrated about it, I choose to be okay anyway. I feel completely stuck, and I'm so frustrated about it. And it's giving me all this pain. But I completely love and accept myself anyway. And I honor what the pain may be saying to me. Okay, top of the head. I can't move. I can't move forward. I've got all this frustration. And it's in my brain. It's in my body. But I think it's starting in my head. I wonder if it's possible that I've actually gotten to the point where I feel hopeless because I'm in all this pain. We're tapping under the arm. Sorry, I don't have my camera angle quite right there. I allow myself to be open to the possibility that I might be able to calm myself down and let go of this frustration. And to let go of this pain. And this buzz of frustration that's stuck in my head. I give myself permission to let go of the frustration. Because I actually can move forward. But there's a part of me that stops me. I allow myself to know that this little part of me that's stopping me from moving forward is actually doing a really good job of keeping me safe. What am I afraid might happen if I did move forward? Maybe I couldn't handle it. But now that I see this part of me is stopping me, I give myself permission to let go of the frustration. To let go of this pain and to move forward a little bit. I allow my head to calm down. I choose to quiet the fear because I am safe. It's safe for me to move forward. I don't need pain to stop me anymore. It's safe to let it go because I do completely love and accept myself. Okay. Peace. Okay. All right. Now, Anastasia, I'm going to talk about some more things in the chat and give you a minute. Please put in the chat, how did that land for you? How did that feel? And how did it affect your pain level, if at all? Okay, so we're going to do tapping to increase energy. That's going to be the last thing I do today because everybody kind of needs it. Everybody's a little bleh. Okay, let's see. And stomach issues, digestion is not very good. I do have a really good video for indigestion. That's taking in new ideas and assimilating what you're doing and what you're taking in. And we're waiting for Anastasia to put something in here. Let's see, increased energy. Okay. I'm actually going to recommend something. For the eyesight one, I've got I have several videos to do with eyes. One has to do with dry eyes, and one is improving your vision, and there's another one. I think there's a third. I kind of think there's a third one. You have to put in eyes, eyesight, vision, and search. I would recommend doing all of those. And, go in, use my free gift, do the visualization, and look to see what you've got stuck in your eyes. Because when you're having vision problems, eyesight problems, that is always that you don't like what you're seeing. It's uncomfortable to look at what you're seeing. It's unpleasant. You're not seeing what you want. And a lot of that is, just letting go of that and seeing with love. So that's what I would really recommend for your eyes, truly, because I know that the eyesight video is very effective. I've used it. I've done that work myself for years. All right, let's see here. Okay, Anastasia says it made her feel calmer. Okay, I'm glad it made you feel calmer. Did it affect your pain level at all? Did it stay at, because you came in at a 10, is it still a 10? I like to quantify this for the people who are watching. As I said, I was upfront about this. I've not worked with someone with cerebral palsy before. Okay. Okay, and Rita says, want to release fat from the body. Oh, I am going to talk about that. Good grief. I am going to talk about that for just a moment, and I've got a question about surrogate tapping. And I'll just answer some questions here. More questions. All right, I've got a video about weight loss. And when people are gaining weight or carrying extra weight, this is a response, it's a fear response, 100% of the time. This is an attempt to keep the self safe. And I can give you a real, I can give you a real good example of this. What happens with a dog or a cat when they feel threatened? They do everything they can to make themselves look larger. And humans are mammals, we're animals too, and we're wired when we feel threatened. And it might be, you might not be in actual physical danger, but when you feel threatened, that is also a genetically, I believe, hardwired response, is to do what you can to make yourself look larger. But animals, once the threat is gone, animals go, oh, okay, and they go back to normal. But humans are really smart, so we hold on to that thought that whatever threatened us might be going to happen again, or it might be going to come back. And we may have, even being in a relationship that's really hurtful, that makes you feel attacked, that can do it. That can be a huge cause of weight gain. So you've got to look at what you have going on underneath the weight. You cannot tap and say, I want to lose this weight. I just haven't found that to be useful. You've got to look at what is triggering that response that is causing you to need to protect yourself. Does that make sense? And let's just do a little bit here for need to protect. And Anastasia says her pain is still at a 10, but she feels calmer. So, got to take it. That's fight or flight. Yeah. And someone commented, yes, it is a fight or flight response. And that is exactly what it is. It's a primitive brain response in all animals. And we are animals. All right. Oh, here we go. And here is the new request. Lorraine has not been in here before. She needs help with left arm pain. Okay. All right. Good. All right, Lorraine. I'm glad you made your way to the live chat here. So, Lorraine, take a big breath in through your nose and hold it. And blow it out. And close your eyes. And now I want you to just use your imagination and go look at your left arm and see how that looks in there. See if it's a color, maybe. Just gently look at it. First thing you see is going to be correct. There is no wrong answer here. It's your arm. And it looks to me like this is more upper arm than lower arm. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I want you to just gently ask that area of your body, your left arm, what's stuck there? What emotion is there? And now ask it what it needs to feel better. First thing that comes to mind, you won't be wrong. Okay, good. All right, now I want you to tell your arm that we're going to give it some help. And go ahead and take a breath and open your eyes. And I'm looking at arms here real quick. I know what I'm seeing there, but I'm curious what might typically be there. Left side is our female side, and also I'm seeing frustration there and some anger, but the anger appears to be directed at yourself. So I want to just see if there's anything else in there. And I want you to drop in the chat before we tap. Okay, yeah, I'm right. It looked like upper arm to me also. Drop in the chat what you saw in there. What's stuck there, and what does it need to feel better? And also, yeah, we'll get your number later on. I want to know how bad it hurts right now between 0 and 10, with 10 being agony and 0 being no pain. So what's stuck there? What does it need to feel better? And what's your pain number? And then we'll do some tapping for that. I'm just kind of looking at arms because some of these are things that I don't work with on a regular basis. And there are a lot of lists with these cool things on them. Yeah, capacity to hold the experiences of life. Okay. I'm seeing frustration and anger. So, okay, Lorraine says it's a 6. What did you see there? What's stuck there? And what does it need to feel better? Did you see an emotion? Did you see an event, a person maybe? What's there? And Lorraine is also saying, I had DVT, and I have no idea what DVT is. I don't know what DVT is. Guys, I'm not a doctor. Okay, it needs forgiveness. Okay, let's just, gosh, I think this feels like forgiveness of yourself. Let's just roll with this and with what I'm seeing there, because it's kind of jiving with what you're seeing. Let's just start here, and everybody tap with this. Okay. I've got all this pain in my arm, in my left arm. And I'm frustrated. And I may have some anger there too. But I choose to be okay anyway. Even though I've got a lot of pain in my upper left arm. And I'm not sure why. I'm open to getting some clarity now. It's safe to look at it. Because I do completely love and accept myself. I've got some anger stuck in my arm. But I'm open to letting go of it now. Because I completely love and accept myself. And I love my arm. I honor that this pain is trying to get my attention. And I've even had deep vein thrombosis. It's stagnation, feeling stuck. And I'm angry. And the person that I think I'm the most angry with is myself. I'm angry at somebody else too. But I can't forgive. I can't forgive them, and I can't forgive myself. I allow myself to understand that holding on to this unforgiveness, this anger, is just like me drinking poison. And I might be hoping that that poison I'm drinking makes somebody else sick. But it only hurts me. And because I've held on to this anger for so long, this unforgiveness, I'm really having trouble forgiving myself. I allow myself to understand that I'm a powerful eternal being. And that I deserve forgiveness. And I deserve to forgive. And I choose to do that right now. It's safe to let go. I allow myself to let go of the pain in my upper arm. I choose to fill my arm with loving forgiveness for myself and others. It's safe for me to do this because I love and accept myself. And I love my arm. Okay. All right. So, Lorraine, if you would move, give it a number now, and drop in the chat. Let us know how that landed. Let me know how did that tapping land with you, and did it change your pain level? And Anastasia says dialectical behavioral therapy. I don't know what that means. Oh, no. Anastasia, she was talking about DVT, which is deep vein thrombosis, which was something that she had. Not DBT. I wouldn't have known what DBT was either, so that's okay. All right, here we go. Lorraine says her pain level has dropped. It was at a 6 and now it's at a 2. How did that tapping feel to you? I think it must have felt pretty good. It felt pretty good from this side, from my side. Let us know how that landed. So for anyone watching this, tapping does work. I'm sorry that Anastasia's pain level didn't drop, but again, I have not worked with her particular issue ever before. And she has a lot, it's multiple things going on there. So, okay, let me scroll here. Okay, and Anna is asking, can you explain how to surrogate tap, please? My teenage daughter is quite anxious, but she doesn't want to tap, and I would like to help her. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not a huge fan of surrogate tapping. And a part of my training, it has to do with permission. And with acknowledging that everyone has their path in life, and someone who does not want to tap needs to be left alone. And I say this in all kindness, because I know it's well-intentioned. But, and also my work is designed only for those who are 18 or older. It is a part of my disclaimer, so I don't work with children. But before you tap for someone, I really would like you to have permission, because I don't think it's fair to try to help someone who may be doing okay on their path. From my perspective, that's interference. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not, but that is my take on it. My training is quite different from that of maybe other practitioners. There are other people out there teaching surrogate tapping, and you can go and look on YouTube, but that's not my thing. Kind of not my thing here. So let's see. Oh, you don't need to apologize that you misheard. It's okay. Oh my gosh. Anastasia says, okay, sorry I misheard. I have tinnitus or tinnitus, depending on where you live in the world. My gosh, in addition to everything else, I have a video for, okay, that may explain why you didn't get a big pain shift. Because the things that are under tinnitus are, there's a huge energy of not wanting to know, not wanting to listen. And this is, I don't say this in any critical way, but I actually have 3 YouTube videos that are devoted just to working with tinnitus. And I would encourage you, Anastasia, to go and do all of those. It may change your pain level, and move you through this in a gentle way. Everybody's got stuff. Don't feel bad just because you've got more issues than somebody else who's in the chat. Honestly, we all have stuff. I came to this work because I had terrible pain from the time I was a teenager. So, yeah. All right. And Lorraine says, now I can move my arm, rotate backward to a larger degree. Great. Yay. All right. Gonna do, yeah, got a little time here. One more, let's see. And we're gonna tap for increasing energy at the end of this. And Rajeshwari says, I have a scar on the top of my forehead from a cut that didn't heal well. It bothers me, even though it might not be obvious. Let me see if I can get it. Let me see if I can get a feel for it. Close your eyes and look at that area of your body and let me look at it with you. Oh. Okay. I got just, yeah, absolutely. We don't need to compare here. Everybody's got their own stuff. Everybody is on their path. They are. And I do my best to help, but not interfere. And that's a big thing. When I first started out, and we're going to tap on the head thing. I'll tell you what I saw here in just a second. When I first started out, I wanted everybody to tap. I was forcing people to tap. And a friend of mine has MS, multiple sclerosis. We're not going to use initials in here. And I said, let's just try this. It was the end of a work day, and she was feeling awful, and she had a lot of pain and tingling in her hands, and she just didn't feel very good. And I said, well, let's just try this for a couple minutes. And we tapped for just a couple of minutes, just on the pain and tingling in her hands. And we finished, and I said, okay, how do you feel? And she said, oh, I feel okay. That was all right. And I said, well, how do your hands feel? And she literally went, oh! She's like, they don't hurt. The pain is almost gone, and the tingling, they're so much better. And I thought she would tap for herself over the weekend because this was a Friday. When I saw her the next week, she looked like she'd been run over. She looked awful. And I said, did you tap? And she said, no, I just didn't have time. And that was, I thought, okay, that really pulled at me for a while. But I had to come to terms with this. This was this was a lot of years ago, very, very early in my tapping career. And I had to learn that someone may need that issue that they've got for a reason. And I don't have any way to know what that might be. And in fact, it's none of my business, which is why it's another reason I'm not a big fan of surrogate tapping. So, yeah. All right. So, Rajeshwari. Now, when I looked at this, we're tapping for a scar on the top of her forehead from a cut that didn't heal well. When I looked at that, I heard in loud words, just loud, I heard, you are so stupid. Now, that's not me telling you you're stupid, but that is what I heard coming from this area of your forehead. would that be accurate? Do you have a feeling? Is that you directing that energy at you or at someone else? Before we tap, because we've got a few minutes here. I'm just really, I'm just really curious about this because I heard that really loud. You are so stupid. When I hear something that's that loud, I mean, that's what we're going to say when we tap. Okay. All right. There. You're saying it to yourself. All right. We're going to stop that. I want, if you guys only do one thing for the next 2 weeks, every day, go back and do my power intentions video. Because that will help you feel like you're good enough. It's let go of feeling like you're not good enough. And it's 2 minutes worth of, it's not tapping. It is my new work. And y'all need to be doing that. All right. For Rajeshwari. I have this big scar on my forehead because I was stupid. Even though I've got a big scar from a cut on my forehead. And it's just not going away. I completely love and accept myself anyway. Even though I've got a big scar from a cut, I completely love and accept myself. And I'm open to shifting the energy that I have around this. How could I have been so stupid? It was my own fault. And I've been saying that to myself for a long time. And because I'd been saying that to myself, I had an accident and cut my head. To prove it, to get my attention, so that I could let it go. I allow myself to understand that I'm not stupid. And because I understand that I'm really not, I choose to be very, very conscious of my words and language. Every day from this moment forward, I choose to say good things about myself because I deserve it. I allow this scar to fade because I agree to say better things to myself, because I do completely love and accept myself. And I love where I hit my head too. I'm not going to do that anymore. Peace. Okay, good. All right. Okay, let's see here what I've got floating through the chat. I just got to scroll here for a minute. All right. We're going to tap to increase energy here in just a minute. Okay. And the scar on we're not going to be able to quantify that. Okay. And Rajeshwari is putting in the chat. She says, I cried, felt like a child again, but it was such a relief. Thank you. Okay, good. That when I hear something that's that loud, it's like, okay, that's what it is. And we carry around things from childhood. We do. Our parents did their best, and sometimes that didn't look very good. And we inherit things from them that maybe they didn't intend for us to inherit. So good, good deal. You'll have to let me know. The scar may flatten out or not. I don't know, but you're going to be in this group for a while. So yeah, if you see changes in that, let us know. All right. So, and the power intentions, she says she's been doing the power intentions also. I'm getting an unbelievable amount of feedback on the power intentions. Just, yeah, miraculous stuff. So, everybody, use that work. It's only a couple minutes out of your day for a couple of weeks. It's not a big time commitment. Okay, let's see here. All right, we're going to tap for raising our energy. I'm just going to kind of tune in to get a drink of water here and then tune into everybody for a little bit. I want to see why everybody's low energy here. Oh, interesting. Okay. Wow. Wow. I'm going to do this again. I think every time I do a live, I tuned into all of you on the energy thing, and there is a big wave of sadness over feeling like you're powerless to really do anything to change. It's almost like world events. It's so interesting, but it's a feeling of really deep sadness about that. And I know what to say for this. Let me tune back in a second here. Okay, everybody do this one. I'm sad. I'm deeply sad because there are all these things going on in the world that are really sad. And I don't feel like I can do anything about them. But I choose to be okay anyway. Even though I am so sad to see all of these things happening in the world, I completely love and accept myself. And I'm open to shifting my perspective now because I do completely love and accept myself. And I honor that this is giving me a feeling of low energy. It's just sadness. I'm not at my best when I'm feeling sad. And I do feel sad. And I feel powerless. There are all these big things happening in the world, happening all around me. And I don't feel like I can do anything to fix them. And so I'm deeply sad. And it's made me feel like I just want to lie down and sleep. But I give myself permission to remember who I really am. Humans are the most elegant species ever created. And I am that. And we are all connected in ways that we can't even begin to imagine. We're connected in miraculous ways. And anytime there is great change, It's like labor and birth. Labor isn't always very pretty, and neither is change when you're in the middle of it sometimes. So there's some pain in this. I give myself permission to know, absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that our species is going to move past all of these bad looking things. And that the future is much brighter than it seems right now. I choose to look at a bigger picture. It's safe to let go of being sad about all this. I choose to increase my energy as I release sadness so that I can function at my best in the world. The world of other humans who need me right now. They need me at my best. And I allow myself to be that. I give myself permission to let go of all the sadness that I'm feeling. I choose to replace all of that with love and joy and a feeling of anticipation. Because I do profoundly love and accept myself. And I love being human. And there's no place I'd rather be right now. Peace. Okay, I've got a couple minutes here. I want you guys to tell me how that tapping landed for you. I'm going to tune into you as a group more often because that felt really good from my side. And there were 2 or 3 of you in here who asked for tapping for better energy. Let me know how that landed. That was really interesting from my standpoint. And I want to tell you, while I wait for that in the chat, I got to tell you, oh, here we go. Wow. Good. Okay. Kim says, I feel like a rush of tingling energy. Yes, good. I hope you can sleep tonight. I know where you live. And it's, getting evening there. And Vicki says, deep sadness was spot on. Thank you so much. Okay. And Rajeshwari says, I love that phrase. There's no place I'd rather be right now. I'm gonna stay on a couple minutes longer tonight because this is the end of my day today and the end of my week. Yay! I want to tell you something interesting. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and it's been about 4 years ago. And we were talking about, he was going on and on and on about how there were overpopulation was this terrible thing, and there were over 7 billion people on the planet, and it was just awful, and the planet couldn't sustain this, and on and on and on. And I was just listening, and I mean, I wasn't disagreeing or agreeing or anything. I was just kind of listening to this rant. Too many people on the planet, overpopulation. It's not sustainable. And we talked about a little bit about some other things, and then all of a sudden he was off on this rant, and and people are starving to death everywhere, and there are these wars, and people are being killed in all of these, there's genocide going on, and people are dying, and then that gave me, I thought, now wait a minute. Hold it just a minute. Something about this doesn't work. It's like, okay, there's too many of us, but there's too many of us dying. Wait a minute. Okay, you can't have it both ways, dude. So at the end of that conversation, he's somebody I know and love. I thought, okay, so what's going on with this? That is an interesting contradiction because there are more of us every day, more and more being born than are leaving. I thought, wow, what's going on with that? So I entered meditation and I said, okay, I described the conversation. I said, what's up with this? And I instantly heard, the first thing I heard was that because that many are needed, that many of us are needed here. And then there was this big rush of excitement, good excitement. And the next thing was because we don't want to miss it. We want to be here for it. We don't want to miss it. So whatever it is, and I kind of think it's what's happening now. This is a part of it. And all of us, all of you who are on this call today, and all of you who are watching a replay, you're in it. You're a part of it. And it's kind of exciting to know. So I don't let myself get really caught up in feeling bad about a thing because you can't fix a problem you don't see or aren't willing to look at. And a lot of problems are coming up right now because we have reached a stage in our evolution as a species where we can actually solve some of these problems, finally. And we are doing it. And it's not perfect right now, and it doesn't look pretty all the time. But remember that huge collective rush, I wish I could make you feel it, of excitement. This many of us are needed, and we don't want to miss it. We don't want to miss it. So much joy and excitement in that. So, we can talk more about this some other time. I'm glad that you all stuck with me this long. You're a kind and patient audience, and I absolutely adore every one of you. So thank you to all of you who were on the live today, and I will see you again. I may pop in and do a live that's not scheduled. I won't. If I do, I won't be taking tapping requests. The next tapping request live is going to be Tuesday, this coming Tuesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and I will put notices in the groups again so that you guys can all be there for it. Yay. All right. As always, peace through unity, hands crooked, for all of us, all nearly 8 billion of us. Bye. Love to all. See you later.